Hey everybody, it's Andrew Martin coming to you with another Monday Minute, or I guess I should say Monday Message, since these will never ever be just a minute. I have accepted that. I have moved on from the idea that these will ever only be a minute. And if you've been watching them, I'm sure you've realized too that they're never going to be a minute, and I hope that's okay with you. I hope you had a great weekend, and happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day to you. And as always, I bring you these messages with the intention of giving us a new perspective or a new way of seeing things or a new way of starting off our week, hopefully with a new thought or a new way of viewing our lives and our world that will allow us to continue to clear that path to our sacred internal space, to connect with our higher selves, to connect with that infinite intelligence that we all have access to, so that we can really truly begin to create the lives for ourselves that we dream of and that we envision for ourselves. And today I want to talk about this idea of cultivating the observer. This is by no means a new concept or a new teaching, and I certainly do not take credit for it, but it is something that has served me really well over my life and over the years, and I wanted to share it with you because I think that, a lot of times what happens in our lives, when we are on a spiritual journey, or even just our day-to-day, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 life, it's very easy to practice love and compassion and staying centered energetically and staying centered and grounded in our own ease and our own well-being. When things are going well, it's really easy to do that, right? So, when life is good and the birds are singing and the sun is shining and all the bills are paid and everything's going really well, it's very easy, and we have physical health, it's very easy to just wake up and bounce out of bed and, go about our day, and we don't have to worry about it. But I think that, a lot of times in our lives when things come up that we perceive as a challenge, or when something happens to us physically or emotionally that begins to throw us off kilter, or, we all have those people in our lives, whether they are personal relationships or work relationships, or even just chance meetings with someone on the street or in the store or wherever, that are a little more emotionally charged, or people who love the drama and who feed off the drama and always want to suck people into their emotional tornado. That's when it can be really difficult for us to stay grounded and to stay centered and to stay compassionate but detached, without getting sucked into this whirlwind and maybe saying or doing something that we will regret later, or that wasn't really a truly honest expression of our higher selves and our greater self. So I want to share with you just this passage that I have written down. I had it written down years ago, and I just ran across it the other day, and it struck me as something that I wanted to share. Pardon me for not being able to give credit to who this passage belongs to. I don't know who the original author is. This was given to me years and years ago by someone who was a spiritual mentor and teacher for me, and it has really helped me. So I just wanted to share it with you. It says, I have a body, but I am not my body. I have emotions, but I am not my emotions. I have an intellect, but I am not my intellect. So who then am I? I am the self, the constant central being. I am the self, that self I am. And I think that, to me, this is such a powerful way to allow us to observe all that's happening in our lives, to be aware of all that's happening in our lives, and to be compassionate and loving to all that is happening in our lives without identifying with it. Because I think what happens is when we begin to say, I am angry, or I am sad, or I am sick, or I am this, or I am that, or, we're driving down the street and there's, traffic is slow because for whatever reason, and we're in a great mood, and then all of a sudden the traffic pisses us off, and I'm mad at this traffic, and this traffic is awful. If we can continue to cultivate this idea of I am not my emotions, I am not my body. This body is going to perish and is going to leave us at some point in our earthly existence. And the part of us that is eternal, the part of us that is that divine spark that we all carry, that's the part of us that continues on regardless. That's the part of us that is unmovable and unshakable and is always compassionate and is always loving. And whether we're dealing with ourselves and something that's happening to us physically and being able to say, I am not this body may be manifesting signs of illness, but I am not that. It allows us to take sort of a third person perspective almost of observing ourselves, and at that point we can really begin to give ourselves what we need. When we're caught up in the drama or the emotion of feeling angry or feeling sad, sometimes it's really hard to see through those cloud of emotions and understand what it is that we really need. But what if we can disidentify with that and say, I am not this, I am the eternal one that lives within this, or that is outside of this, or that transcends this, then we can begin to say, okay, now I can give myself the love and the compassion and the empathy and the understanding that I need. Or when dealing with someone else who's trying to suck us into their drama, who's someone we may have an emotionally charged relationship or history with, and they know how to push our buttons, and they know how to get us going and get us sucked into that, that conflict or that contrast of emotions. Rather than letting them suck us in, we can say, okay, I am not the one who is engaging here. I am the one observing this interaction. I am the one observing this engagement with this person. And so I can just listen and I can just observe. And that will allow me to still give them the love and the compassion that they need, because I am staying centered and I am staying grounded. Of course this takes practice. Of course this takes a certain determination and an intention and a focus. But I think if we can begin to remind ourselves, and it can just even be a one-line thing. I am not these emotions, or I am not this body, or I am not these circumstances, I am not this job, I am not this intellect, I am not even this emotion. It's not a matter of not caring or being apathetic. It's a matter of not letting anything that comes to us shake us from our place of being centered in love and grounded in light, and that will allow us to give to ourselves and to give to others the love and compassion that they really need. So that's what I want to share with you today, the idea of cultivating the observer. I hope this helps you. I hope this gives you a new tool or a new way of looking at your life and helps us to observe our lives and to create the life that we really want for ourselves. As always, you can go to my website, shoot me an email and let me know how this works for you. You can go to my Facebook page and follow me there, or send me a message on Facebook and let me know if this works for you, because I really do think that this is such a beneficial tool for us and something that we can really use to help keep ourselves above the emotional drama and the fray, so to speak. And again, go out there and do your own research online about the concept of cultivating the observer. It's a very old, very well-worn, and very useful spiritual teaching, and I wanted to share it with you. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I wish you well, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.